Wow, what a night that was. And listen, Canadians spoke. 2% more in the popular vote went to the Liberals, and they've got a minority that can be propped up by the NDP yet again. So Canadians said that they liked the last 10 years and they just wanted a rebrand. Sure, 42% of us said no, but that doesn't change that 42.5% said yes. 42.5 and 40%, I can't quite remember. I haven't had enough sleep. But nonetheless, Canadians spoke loud and clear. So now we're going to discuss what comes next and how we got here. Just a little bit of how we got here. So I think that this morning, Corey Tenneke, Doug Ford, and Danielle Smith may be getting gift baskets from the Liberals, because without their help in trying to very publicly destroy the CPC vote, this might not have been possible. So congratulations to them. It sure does look like Doug Ford is going to be going for the next CPC leader, because why else would he and Corey Tenneke be so publicly shitting the CPC this election? And for the love of God, is there duct tape for Danielle Smith the next time we have an election? Just stop her from going on podcasts. That woman is not okay. That woman is not okay. She doesn't help anybody. Give her her spot in Alberta and keep her the hell out of the rest of the country's politics. It's sort of cute to me that Poilievre thinks he's going to stay on as leader after the only reason that he is leader is because the system that got him there is the one that so unceremoniously removed O'Toole because O'Toole was not far enough right during the convoy. So no matter what Poilievre says, I highly doubt he will be holding on to the position of leader, especially without a seat. No CPC member is going to say, yes, here, take my seat and my income. That's not going to happen. This is just a total mess, but the damage was done, and we are where we are today. So where are we today, and what comes next? Well, we've got cumulative inflation, and inflation wasn't going down as it is. Inflation was ticking up. Core inflation, CPI trim, was ticking up to almost 3%, 2.8% and 2.9% the month before. We'll see what next month is. And these are numbers before tariffs and reciprocal tariffs were put in place. So the tariffs and reciprocal tariffs, especially because that's what Canadians pay, will boost inflation. Now, the Liberal platform spending is also going to boost inflation. Together, they're going to add 1 to 1.5% in annual inflation in Canada. Let's say that holds for the rest of 2025. You know what disappears then? Rate cuts. No rate cuts. No rate cuts. It's not going to happen because of higher inflation. Now, why would an economist, a very intelligent economist, want higher inflation and rates to not be cut? Well, one, it makes the Canadian dollar more attractive to investors and boosts what we are at par against the greenback, against the euro, yada, yada, yada. The other thing is banks make more money. People with large savings accounts make more money because that's how interest rates work. So while your mortgage rate and your loan rates and your HELOC rates will not be going down into 2026, chances are they'll be holding or maybe even go higher. The rich will be making more money. And that is what Canadians voted for last night, by and far, was for the uber wealthy to make more money. So, enjoy it. food, energy costs, basic goods, the tariffs and counter tariffs, and now both parties were big on the counter tariffs, which I am staunchly against, but they're both big on them, so be prepared, because remember, Carney said this was the first tranche of tariffs that he rolled out. Not the be-all, end-all, the first tranche. So who knows in 6 months' time what tariffs will be on what. The gains from the 1% tax cut on the lowest amount, that $800 if you make $55,000 a year that you won't be spending, that's going to be gone thanks to higher living costs. Gone. Just gone. We also have to discuss the carbon tax. I don't believe he is going to re-implement the consumer carbon tax. That is not to say he is not going to double the production carbon tax, thereby making it so that everything is the same price, equally expensive or more, and also collecting the same amount of money. So the Canadians wanted this. Canadians wanted to enrich Brookfield. And while we're talking about Brookfield, again, I've never said this before, because I do believe in our mainstream media. We have some amazing journalists. I am very disappointed in some of the questions that were never asked, the pieces that were never put together based on public information that is a 30-second Google. It doesn't even take minutes of time to search. So the questions that were never asked was, about entropy and the carbon capture program. How much are we going to be paying Brookfield to lower our carbon output as our neighbor is building coal plants because climate change stops at borders somehow? How much are we going to be enriching them? And there's the housing plan. I can't understand how people are okay with the Brookfield making billions of Canadian dollars up front on housing and Canadians not having homes to buy. I don't understand that. I don't understand how an entire generation could say that another entire generation should not be allowed to own a home. I will never wrap my mind around that one. And again, the media never pushed Carney on the fact that there was no line item for the sale or rental income from these properties. He was never pushed on what is the plan after these homes are built. We will be paying for the building of these homes. Okay, what is the plan for them after that? Nobody ever even asked. And then his taxes, and I got into that in the previous video, how legally, no matter what, he had to file in Canada. Nobody even bothered to ask him where he paid. Not once. Not even the Toronto Sun. Toronto Sun bothered to ask him where he filed. You can't tell me that nobody knew. And it's really disappointing, because I don't even think the majority of Liberal voters realize what they just voted for, because these questions weren't asked. So we've got public sponsorship now of Brookfield home construction permanently. Then we've got where we're spending our money. High-speed rail in 15 to 20 years from Windsor to Quebec City. Woohoo! Really? But no pipelines. Rentals that we won't be receiving the rental income on, that Brookfield will set the prices for and become even further the largest rental property owner in the country. And nothing on defense. Nothing on Arctic defense. Nothing on land defense. Nothing new to NATO. I don't know who chose. Obviously, 42.5% of people chose this. But I highly doubt the 42% of people read the policy, because I don't see how this benefits Canadians. We have a limited amount of time to get Canadian oil and gas out of the ground and it have a market. Right now, with Trump threatening everybody, allies who are looking to replace American products, American oil and gas, are ripe for the picking. And Canadians just elected someone who said no. There's no winning. There's no winning. And we will have the exact same government we had for the last 10 years with a new face. Oh, but he's so smart. Oh, he's so learned. Yes, he is. Makes it much easier for him to choose his words, doesn't it? There was one thing the drama teacher was very good at, was remembering his lines and choosing his words. And Canadians fell for the bullshit of operating budget versus capital budget, because this leader is no different. Mark Carney is not Jean Chrétien. He is not a responsible leader who is going to make the hard decisions and make cuts. He proved that in his platform. So, Canadians, coast to coast, will pay the price for the choices of some Canadians. I really look forward to seeing the age demographic breakdowns of who came out to vote and who that 42% is, because I think right now we all know who decided that the Liberals should be given up to 14 years in power doing the same things that they've done for the last decade. Have a wonderful day. The sun has risen again, and it will continue to, but it doesn't mean that we're getting more well off. Unless maybe if you own Brookfield. Have a great day.